Hello and welcome back. In this video we're going to be talking about global functions and global function instances. This video assumes that you have at least watched the video about data types. And we're going to start right away and define a function. What is a function within StatusWatch? Well, it's a math problem. For example, a plus b equals c, like you remember from algebra class. In this case, a and b are our inputs and c is our answer. In StatusWatch, we can define that a plus b, or any number of more complicated formulas, globally, and we define them system-wide. That's called a global function. And then the global function instance is when we actually call that function. We do the actual math. We plug in a few values into the a and b fields and ask StatusWatch to provide us with the c. Let's look at an example. Let's go over to the functions, and we'll create a new function. Here you see a list of some of the ones that already exist. These are important for the built-in reports in StatusWatch and should not be deleted. We'll go ahead and create a new function, and I will call it ABC. After naming my function, a function editor window will come up. This is it here. The return type is going to be the data type that should be the c in our a plus b equals c. If c is returned to you, what type of data is it? Is it continuous Boolean? Is it an immediate number or something like that? And we're going to say we want an immediate number. Also, we need to add some inputs, in this case our a and b. We're going to call this input A, and we're going to call this input B. And let's change the types of these to instantaneous integers. Alright. Off to the right, I define the left-hand side of my formula, the a plus b. So I'm going to say input A plus input B. There's my formula. I've defined it as A plus B, and the C is assumed. It's the answer. Just as easy as that, I've created a simple function. It's not terribly useful yet, but that's it. Now let's go to an individual asset into our test lathe, and we're actually going to populate that function with some values. Plug in something for the A and the B so that we can get the C. We're going to create a couple new data points here. A new manual data point. This one's going to be an instantaneous integer, and I'm going to call it input A. And we'll save it. And then we'll create another called input B. New data point. Also an instantaneous integer. Alright, now we have two data points that we would eventually need to populate with actual values. But let's grab a new global function instance. New data point, global function instance. And we are going to instantiate that function, the ABC function. Click on it. It'll bring up another editor window where it will ask us to select which data points are going to be fed into this data point. Input A we will tie to input A, and input B to input B. Just drag and drop. Now we've said we have an A plus B equals C, and we'd like the value of A to be provided by our data point input A, our manual data point input A. And we'd like the value of input B to be provided by our manual data point input B. As simple as that, we have created a new function and instantiated it on this particular asset. Now, again, this one isn't terribly useful, but if we had a much more complicated formula, for example, OEE equation, where it takes in several other formula results and does more math on them, you can see how it would be useful to define that once at the global level, and then instantiate it as many times as you'd like on every single machine, and not have to rewrite the entire function. Additionally, should I ever decide that I want to make that formula A minus B equals C instead of A plus B, I need only change it in the one spot in the global formula definition, and the change will cascade down through all of the function instances that implement that global function. That's a very simple version, but that's all there is to it for global functions and global function instances. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.